I sit back and I think, as ordinary people, what are we gonna do to help, stop the senseless killings, helps, the system to get a clear understanding that we're vulnerable inside of schools. We're vulnerable inside of, grocery stores. We're vulnerable inside of a movie theater. We're even vulnerable when it comes to even walking down the street. There are so many people that want to do harm to people, no matter whether they black or white or whoever. There are people that just walk through life every day and plotting or thinking about trying to harm somebody. But then you have easy access to purchase certain weapons. You have easy access to get certain types of bullets. There have been so many young people killing each other in the past 2 years throughout this pandemic. It's ridiculous. And it's crazy the fact that you got to always think about, your wife or your husband or your children when they're in certain locations or in certain places, because you fear for their life. And it seems like nobody is safe, going any place, because you never know what somebody's going to do. So what are politicians going to do? What are advocates and people, even myself just putting this video out, what can we do to change the narrative? Because it seems like everybody shows empathy when something like happened at the elementary school or something happened at the grocery store. But then a couple weeks later, that conversation is gone. That conversation is wiped away. There are systems in place that it seems like it's okay for, guns to be purchased. Or you take a quick twist. Guns killing people, food killing people, drugs killing people. But it seems like it's a systematic oppression where certain things they want to stay in place, because either that can separate us by classes, that can separate us by the wealthy, the powerful, and separate us from the powerless, the people who don't really have a voice or don't have access to certain things. So I sit back and I sit there and think, are politicians going to have to make decisions, or the people going to have to stand up and make a decision? And in terms of going out to vote, in terms of being more vocal. But the thing is, when you start being vocal, you got to live that life too, because you can't put yourself out there talking about, doing the right thing or putting certain systems in place, but then you go fall right back into that same narrative, that same MO. And that go for me, that go for anybody. But it's sad to say that, I worry about my own family or my own friends when we're inside, and even myself when I'm inside of a school, or I'm inside of a grocery store, or I'm inside of a movie. What is it going to take to change all of this, especially when it comes to the senseless killing and all the violence? Because something has to happen, something has to change in order for the progression of this world to change. Again, the level up and double up process is true. And that goes with politics, that goes with life, that goes with putting systems in place so everybody can elevate and rise. It's crazy the fact that you could go purchase a gun, but a first-time entrepreneur can't go get a loan to start his business that could be wiped out in terms of 10 years of successful progress. System's kind of crazy.